Well, I would. The PENSA conference isn't meant to be a professional networking conference. We've tried it in the past, but this one will be exclusively dedicated not merely to networking. We have three main objectives, and I think that's what your question is getting at. What are the objectives of this conference? Number one, we want this to be what I'm calling an action-forcing event, where we come to recognize that we have resources in the church who are sitting idly and perhaps used to be very active, maybe in previous years in PENSA, but now because of where they are in life with fatherhood, motherhood, and professional duties, they are no longer very active. We want to bring them back into the fold and call out the ministry that God has given to them as working adults. And so that's point number one. And so that's where the networking component comes in. Point number two is we also want to reinforce the fact that being a professional is not one aspect of your life. And we can look at Joseph as an example, that even when he became the governor of Egypt, he didn't forget his God. He didn't forget what God had called him, the vision that God gave him from his teenage years came to pass, but he didn't forget his past. And so it is important that as we are emerging as the current corporate and maybe even spiritual leaders in our various locals, we recognize that we have a calling as fathers and mothers. We have a calling as professional leaders, and we have a calling as difference makers within the Church of God. And that is the objective number two. How do we reinforce all those points? And then finally, this is very important to me, that we begin to get ourselves prepared to prepare the next generation that is coming up behind us. We want to create a mentorship platform, and we want to use this as a business meeting to get a mentorship platform created so that folks who go back to the various assemblies and create mentorship systems that will recognize and provide worthy examples to our brothers and sisters who want to be where, by God's grace, we are.